So Allo and Duo, 2 new apps we'll see sometime this summer with a lot of smarts built into Allo. I think it's a better way to do messaging bots, but it's not the only new thing. I think the Google Home is very interesting too. This is basically a speaker to take on the Amazon Echo. And the fact that it works with Chromecast and Chromecast audio means it's the answer to my dreams. Gina, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. You know, it's funny. Anil, my co-founder, loves the Echo and would talk about how great the Echo was. And it was around the time that I got in my my Google Watch, Google Wear watch. And I was like, I mean, it's the watch. It's up to just sits in one place in your house. He's like, no. And I was like, it's Google. I mean, I'd love to see the Google version of this. And so now we have it. And it's cute. It's small. When he walked out with it, I was like, oh,
much cuter than the Echo. Yeah. The fact that it becomes a multimedia center in your house, that you could say, play on the living room TV.
That is huge.
That's what the Echo doesn't do that I really wanted it to do. You can make it do that with some extra hardware, but this just kind of happens. It's Chromecast audio support, Chromecast video support. Jason, how are you going to run out and get one? We don't know what the price is, and we don't know when it'll be available. Sometime later this year is all they say.
Yeah. Later this year is all we have right now. Yeah, I mean, I've been so on the fence of getting the Echo very recently because you just keep hearing about it. Everybody's so dang, happy with their experience with the Echo. So I've been on the fence, but I wanted to wait and see if Google had their own coming out. So obviously they do. Yes, I'm on board. One thing that we're not going to get, from what I understand, right out of the gate is multi-account capability. So for a shared device, that could be a little bit of a challenge.
So it's going to be on my Google account.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be to a account.
See, the Echo lets me switch accounts.
They're going to open it up eventually, but they say that. So keep that in mind. But yes, I'm looking forward to it. I really want this.
Oh, Jeff, we've just broken Jeff's heart. He's like,
okay, Jeff?
You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. I'm going to want to use it on my apps account all along. And no, when it comes out, it'll only be the damned Gmail account, and then I can't switch anything because it knows me as this person, not as that person, and it won't know anything about me. And Google, can't you fix this? Can't you fix this?
Well, it'll be missing one. Matt.
Oh man,
Newman.
I'm always going for my run while I listen to Google, and when Jeff, you just press the button because it's a completely fair criticism about Google Apps accounts not being able to do everything that Google accounts can do. And I'm like, oh no, the next minute is not gonna. I should start doing intervals whenever I hear that.
Jumping jacks.
We need to fix that. I can't. You wouldn't think it would be that rocket sciencey, but apparently it is.
These are consumer products too, really. Let's face it. They're not. Yeah. These are not work products.
And it's interesting to me because I have an Amazon Echo in my home, and I use it. I like to do, what's the news and that sort of stuff. But what really was interesting to me is I was visiting my sister-in-law, and this was like a year ago, and her kids were asking the Echo to tell jokes. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is connected in a way that a lot of different consumer products really didn't, catch on. And so I'm glad that Google now has this offering. We'll see how well it works. I'm hoping that the voice recognition, everything works really, really well. I like the LEDs, so it looks like they're cycling. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So the response for this one is Hey Google versus Okay Google.
She said Hey Google on one of them.
She said Hey Google, I think, which is interesting. The other thing that really struck me about Home is that it is not mobile. Right? Everything is mobile. Everything's going to be thinking mobile. And this is the thing that is explicitly not mobile, which I kind of like, and it makes you think about a different use case around it.
Well, that's what made the Echo interesting, because I think the reason the Echo worked, it wasn't as smart as Siri or Google or anything else, but the reason it worked for a couple of reasons, but the main reason is because you're talking to your house. There is no device. You're standing there stirring the stew, and you say, set timer for 20 minutes. You talk to your house, and it responds. Or you say, I need new batteries, and it says, oh, yeah, you ordered them before. These ones? Yes. That is magical, even though its capabilities are much more limited.
It also makes you buy one for every room.
I have, when this is my sad face, because I have 5 of these things. And that, I guess I'll still need them for my Audible books, but
I gotta say, I watched that video for the product, and I was like, I aspire to this being my family life and my home life someday. It seemed like just such a well-oiled machine. I was like, oh, I wish my morning looked like this.
Amen. You know, amen.
I hate those videos though, because nothing can live up to that. You know, they're just too good. They're just too good. Yeah.
Yeah, in my house, we forgot the costume for Space Day. Completely forgot.
Oh, yeah, that one's good. The kid comes and you look at this sad face and you forgot. What's our next appointment? It's Space Day at the Hermes School. Oh.
Yeah, my kid shows up and is like, Mom,
you forgot.
We show up at school without the costume.
Right. The only thing I thought was interesting was at the very end where he says goodbye, because I think there was a piece by Hunter Walk where he's like, Alexa is teaching my kids to be rude, you know, and he's basically like, they don't say please, they don't say thank you, and he wanted that sort of, you know, stuff to be built in. And so for a second I thought it was going to say, oh, goodbye, you know, a nicety, and instead it's like, oh, we'll turn you into auto away mode and all that sort of stuff.
Well, that's the thing. It did have functionality. The Nest turned off and all of these things. So I kind of like that. It would be nice if these things would teach our kids to say please and thank you.
Yeah, it wouldn't execute the command unless you actually.
Like Alexa says, what's the secret? What's the magic word? Please.
What's the magic word? Oh, if I could have a device, what's the magic word? And so
okay, Matt, make a note of that. Just pass that along to the team. There should be a magic word mode.
I will write that down. And in fact, so Neil Stephenson, you know, there was something like the Diamond Age. It was like the Young Ladies Primer or something, and it basically was like an AI that would teach this, you know, young girl over until she became a young woman. And I just, man, if you could get to that mode where you're just like, you've got this kid, he loves ptarmigans and birds and stuff, and he wants to know about dinosaurs, and it could kind of like slip in a little educational stuff in addition to the please and thank you. I'm like, that would be much better than just watching, you know, videos or TV. So
maybe you remember the episode of Silicon Valley where they have the artificial intelligence nanny scolding the child.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
See, I was so excited about this idea of not having to repeat stuff to my daughter 16 times, but now
your mother told you.
That was terrible. It was awful.
It was painful.
It was painful to watch.
But you see how we are really moving in the direction of these artificial assistants.
Well, exactly, and again, because it knows how to respond as you. That's we thought these agents would go off and get things for us, right? But it learns to respond as me and says what I would say anyway, and so it now will soon say it for me, and then no one's going to know if they're dealing with me. Or, by the way, there is, you know, a new Facebook Messenger bot. This is the use of my name that I approve of, called Jarvis.
Right. Right.
It's actually pretty good. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
You know, so you tell it to remind you, right? So am I talking to Jarvis or Jarvis?
Right.
You're not going to know.
Well, Google has a huge advantage here because, as we know, Apple is very reluctant to collate information, or they say they are.
They say they are.
About how you use stuff. Google, you know, has been always collecting that information and should be able to use that to make this stuff better and smarter. And you know, it's kind of interesting because I think in some senses, this encourages you. It gives you a reason to give Google this stuff.
Yeah, and Leo, the thing that really struck me most this morning is that, and I've talked about mass media being over and mass treats you like all the same, and I say to my people in media, Google is a personal services company. It knows you as an individual, and media does not. Now, what I saw today more than ever is that Google is a personal company. It knows you as an individual. That's really powerful. As long as the trust can stay up, which I have no problem with it. I welcome my new master. All is well. It's good. Come in.
You and I are that way. I mean, we don't mind.
We are.
We embrace this.
But I think as long as you get value back, as long as the user gets value back, they're going to be fine with this. And Google is demonstrating huge value for allowing this personal relationship to occur.
The value is there already for me. It's so interesting because we've been looking at so many Google products like Google Now and saying it could be so useful and so great, and all along, Google has been building this kind of informational utility, and then there's this kind of criticality, this singularity, if you will, where it takes the stuff it's been learning, and now it's really hideously valuable, really functional. So now cards, while they were interesting, never really took off as a super valuable thing. But this could be our little Rosie the Riveter in our house.